Recently, I did a video answering your questions. At the end of that video, I said if you have any questions, any more questions, put them in the comments, send me an email. I get 5 more questions, I'll make another video. And here is that other video. So welcome to the Service Academy Information Channel, where we discuss all things about service academies, how to get a nomination, how to get an appointment, and sometimes Service Academy news. And here are your questions. Some of them are very basic, but obviously people are asking these questions because they don't know. There's no such thing as a stupid question. There can be stupid answers, and I hope I don't give you stupid answers. But let's go down these line of questions. They're in no specific order. It's just how they came in and just how I jotted them in my notebook. So the first question is, do I need a congressional nomination to get into a service academy? And the answer is yes. You need a congressional nomination to get into a service academy. All but the Coast Guard Academy. So for the West Point Army, Annapolis Navy, Air Force Academy, Merchant Marine Academy, you do need a congressional nomination from your congressman or senator. The Coast Guard Academy does not require a congressional nomination. It goes way back to the turn of the century, the turn of the last century, when they negotiated something with Congress that they don't have to get congressional nominations. So yes, you need a congressional nomination to get into a service academy. The next question, do service academy graduates have to serve in the military? And the answer is yes, they're going to school to be trained to become officers in the military. All of the academies become officers in the military. Even the Merchant Marine Academy, which sometimes people really do not understand, those graduates are United States Naval officers. They are strategic sea lift officers, and they are in the Navy, even though they might be sailing in a civilian capacity. But all academy graduates do graduate and they do become military officers. The next question, do service academies accept transfer students? Well, I think what this question is really asking is, do service academies have a transfer portal? Just like the big schools where football players can transfer from one school to another, athletes, D1. Yes, they do accept transfer students, but those students have to start as fourth classmen, as plebes, as incoming cadets. They cannot become a junior because they transfer in their junior year. They have to start from zero. Now, can they transfer some credits? Yes, they can transfer credits. It all depends on the classes. It all depends on the school. It all depends on their grades. So the answer for transfer students is yes, they have to start from zero. Transferring from an upperclassman to an upperclassman at an academy, the answer is no, it doesn't work like that. So any of you guys thinking of the transfer portal going from Old Miss to Navy, that's not happening. The next question is, what GPA, SAT, and ACT scores do I need? Well, I want to put up on the screen here a couple of visuals that I have, and you guys can look at them while I'm talking. The GPA score, your school GPA score, is important. However, not all GPA scores are the same. You can get a 4.0 GPA and take very easy classes, non-STEM classes. That is not equal to a GPA from someone who went to a school and took all AP STEM classes, AP history classes, AP literature classes, etc. So GPA is not equal to GPA across the country. It just doesn't work like that. What really distinguishes a student is the SAT, ACTs. And I always say the SAT and ACTs is really what ranks you, what gets you kind of where you need to be. So I'm repeating myself from a lot of other videos. You want to take those SAT, ACTs as many times as you can, and you want to super score them. So I hope as I was talking here, you got the information that you needed from the slides that were on the screen. If not, send me an email and I will answer your question directly. The next question probably should have been before the last question. Do SAT standardized test scores matter? Yes, they matter. Anybody tells you that they don't matter is lying to you. I say this constantly. SAT scores matter. Simple as that. There's really no discussion about it. Do the best you can on the SAT and ACTs. They matter. They determine if you're going to get in or you're not going to get in. Simple as that. Next question. Do you have to be a United States citizen? Well, the short answer is yes, you have to be a United States citizen. If you are going through the normal everyday process of applying for a nomination and an appointment to any of the service academies, you have to be a United States citizen. When do you don't need to be a United States citizen? Well, all the academies accept students from foreign governments. They all accept students that come in, do a year or so at the academy. That is a diplomatic thing that is handled through the State Department. That is something that you cannot apply for. You have to be a cadet at one of the foreign military colleges or military universities, military academies, to come to one of the United States military academies. When I was going to school way back when, we had students who were from Panama, from Colombia, from the Philippines. Now, where I went to school, there were students from Korea, all over the place. That is handled through the United States State Department. You cannot just be a foreign citizen and apply to get into a school. It just doesn't work like that. Can you be a dual citizen? The answer to that is no, you cannot be a dual citizen. You cannot have loyalties to two countries. You must have your loyalty, your citizenship to the United States. Look it up. If any questions, get back to me. So that covers some of the questions that I got. I know some of these questions are very basic and you guys are going, oh my God, why is he covering that? I'm covering because people are asking those questions. So once again, you guys and gals out there have any questions, just send them over. I get enough of them. I'll put them together. I'll do a real short video like this and I will answer your questions. Any comments, any questions, leave it below and I will get back to you. So thank you so much for watching and I hope you get what you want. Bye now.